Hi everyone, it's Madeleine Black here, speaker and author of Unbroken with
Louise Beech, sometimes speaker, I suppose, and author of many books, Maria in the Moon and How to Be Brave being two of them.
And together we are Beech and Black on the sofa, which just kind of happened.
Very coordinated we are. I kind of blend into the sofa and you blend into the wall.
Hey, we disappear. So today we thought we would speak about achievements and ambitions.
Yeah.
And I guess achievements is really weird because unlike you always knew you were a writer. You always wrote that your escapism, your therapy. There's no way if you told me one day that I would stand on a stage speaking and sharing my story or write a book and, whatever I've done, I could never have believed it. I never believed that would happen.
I can't believe you didn't believe it, because when I first met Madeleine at that train station in Leeds 2.5 years ago, the first thing I got when I met Madeleine, which was so lovely, is how tiny you were, because you're such a big presence. Isn't she? Such a lovely.
I'm 5'2". I'm one of the tall ones in my family,
and I'm like 5'9". So it's like we're like small and tall.
We're equal on the sofa.
Oh, we are, aren't we? Actually, yeah. But when I met you, how tiny you were, and how much I wanted to protect her and look after her. Then I did step back and think, you don't need to look after this girl. This girl's she's got it. Mm-hmm. But I knew you were meant to speak.
But then I had published a book. I mean, beforehand, if anybody said one day you'll write a book, share your story, I didn't believe it because I was so caught up in shame.
Didn't the psychic tell you that you would?
She did, yeah. So I really struggled for years with my memories when they returned. I was 13. No, I wasn't 13. My daughter was 13, Anna, and all my memories returned of being raped at 13. And I struggled with all my memories returning, and somebody suggested going to see a medium, and I thought, okay. And she was great. She told me lots of details and she mentioned things I hadn't told to anyone else. And then at the very end, she said to me, I see you speaking on a stage in front of thousands in schools, universities, events, and I see you writing a book. And at that moment, I thought, what a load of rubbish. I really believed everything you had said up to then. And I thought, what am I going to speak about? What am I going to write about? And yeah, then it did come true. But you, unlike me, you always used writing. It was always a tool from a young, tiny little 3-year-old age. You were always creative and writing and using your words for your own sanity, really.
Yeah, I could write before I could write, if that makes sense. As in, I made stories up before I'd physically learned to write the alphabet. Music used to inspire me. I used to hear music and listen to the words, and I would see it very visually and imagine it as a story. But a bit like you, not the psychic, but I got a very, very detailed birth chart done a few years ago. And she told me, very much like you with the psychic, things I already knew, this, that and the other. And I did already know this, but she said, Louise, your writing is a gift that's been given to you, and it's a gift that you're going to use to heal the world and to heal yourself. That is what she said. So that's quite powerful. No pressure. No pressure,
really,
world.
Really powerful when you hear that, isn't it?
Similar to your journey then.
Yeah. So
self-healing first, though, because I do believe it's the truth, isn't it? We can't heal anyone unless we heal ourselves.
Absolutely. First. And I would never stand on the stage and share my story of sexual violence, rape, if I wasn't in a good place. If I had to use my stage for therapy, that would be awful, and the audience would know it as well. So I stand there, and I hope that this is what comes across, is that I am healed and I am strong, and you can recover from a really traumatic, violent episode in your life and all the implications that followed. And people say that, they say, when I see you standing there speaking, the very fact that you can speak about it knows that you're healed. They know that I'm healed, because I think when we can share our story and it doesn't affect us, then we're okay.
Well, I'm a little fledgling duckling, really.
But that's okay. It's not a race.
No, it isn't a race.
It's not a race. It's not a competition. You go at your own pace. And my story, my journey, this process has taken me years to get to where I am. It's not an overnight fix.
Do you still have any ambitions then? Is there anything you haven't yet achieved that you'd still like to? Because the stuff you've achieved.
Well, right now I am in a space where I'm just trusting life. So last year I said to myself, if I'm meant to be a speaker, then I'd love to work internationally, and then I'll stop working as a psychotherapist. And I thought that will never work.
And where have you been?
Well,
in the world?
I woke up on 2019, January the 1st, with an invitation to go speak in Johannesburg. And on the 5th of January, I woke up with an invitation to speak in the Maldives, and I was sponsored by UNICEF. And I thought, okay, well, they're good signs. I'll take those signs. So I have stopped working as a therapist and focusing on speaking, because I know the impact that speaking out can have on others. I know the healing that comes when we share our stories. And so next month, February, I'm going to Namibia to speak at a global speakers summit to share my
Do you
story.
need someone to carry your luggage
Well,
for you?
I've had that been asked a few times. But really, right now, I try not to plan where I'm going, and I trust that everything is going to come to me. And so far, if I speak somewhere, then somebody will contact me and ask me to speak somewhere else. I'm very lucky, really.
Yeah, but you've worked for that.
Yeah.
We make our own luck. I'm a big
We
believer
do.
that we don't just luck doesn't just land in our laps.
I know. So I did
luck.
apply for TEDx,
We
and we
make
do
luck.
have social media presence, and we do write blogs, and we do go out there and do book events and
Yeah.
stuff, and so there is that as well. But I also am very lucky.
So you've achieved a lot, whereas I, again, am a bit of a fledgling duckling again.
When she says she hasn't achieved a lot, she's published 5, nearly 6 books.
Okay, I've done that.
Yes.
All right then. But I've still got lots of. I'd like to be translated.
Yes.
I'd like a couple of the books to be made into a film. Maybe a
Yes.
couple of others to be a TV series.
Netflix, are you listening?
And is it ambitious? I'd like to win the Booker Prize or something like that one day.
That would be amazing, and I don't think there would be anyone less deserved than you to win it. Which one would you like it to? Which one would you apply for? Which book in particular?
This Is How We Are Human, maybe, or the memoir.
Okay. So
I think it has to be an issue-y. Well, I love that word,
Yes.
issue-y. I think the issue-y books are often the Booker Prize winners,
Yeah.
aren't they? You know, you don't often get crimey types,
Mhm.
do you? It's usually a juicy book, isn't it, with that's topical. So I'm thinking...
And I'm very fortunate. I have read. I refer to the book as Sebastian because it is about a
I
character called
know.
Sebastian, and it's going to be provocative. It's going to be very thought making. It's going to make people really think. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I don't want to give too much away. I don't know if you want to explain
Watch this space.
any more about it, or just wait, because it'll be a couple of years before that one's published.
Next year, probably.
Yeah.
Because that's the one I'd... If someone, you know, if I'm getting another one published, then that's the one that will be next after I Am Dust.
And it is, it has stayed with me. And I often think about the characters and think, I wonder how they're doing.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I won't ruin it for them, but I can tell you in a minute.
Okay.
So I think we've covered that.
Yeah.
We can sure talk, you know, girl. I'm just looking up there. It's 7
We
minutes.
said we'd do 4 or 5 minutes, and yes, I know the time just
Every
goes
time,
about.
7 minutes. Wow.
Or maybe people could leave something in the comments below. Any ambitions they want to do,
Oh yeah,
or
that would be
anything they've achieved that they're really proud of, or yeah, whatever. Just leave any comments you like.
We'd love to read them.
Yeah. So this has been Beech
Louise Beech
and Madeleine Black on the sofa again, and we will speak to you later. Bye for now.